It's Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening. Duster Dude 225 here. We're going to do a slight transformation on this Farmall Cub. We're going to knock 40 years worth of dust off this thing. We got the John Deere, of course, John Deere pressure washer. And we're going to clean this thing up. One thing you need to make sure of is make sure your distributor doesn't get wet, and try to keep your generator and all those parts kind of dry too, so we don't create any extra problems. This stuff is learning. All right, let's see how it runs. So that's definitely not right. So it definitely looks better. We need to address some of the leaks before we try to really clean this thing up. But it looks like a totally different tractor right now. All right, it's Saturday morning. It's kind of nasty and drizzly, so I think we're going to pull the Cub in the garage and fire up the heater to do our last remaining work to it for this week. I bought oil and filter and a coolant filter. Coolant, sorry. And we're going to change that. Man, that's nasty. Let's get this thing inside. All right, we got tractor in neutral. We're gonna choke it. Didn't give it no throttle. There she is fired up. We're gonna let the chickens out and let it warm up for a second and pull it inside. They're gonna be mad this morning I'm late letting them out. Morning, girls. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is drain the coolant. This thing's always had a little leak right here. So I'm gonna put some pipe dope on a new domesticated rooster. Got me worried if I bought enough coolant now. It ain't bad looking. That block must be all water, because it just keeps coming. I might be able to scrounge up enough antifreeze. It looks like about 2.5 gallons on it. About 2. Now you definitely don't want to drain this hot. I was barely at operating temperature, so it was all right. Because it can burn you, and it also it's not good to pour cold water in a hot motor. You could cause other problems. But while that's draining, we're gonna drain the motor oil. You got this little wing nut here that drains your oil filter, and then you got this bigger nut that drains the engine oil. Okay, that wasn't as tight as I thought it was gonna be. Oh, this has to be the biggest bolt on the whole tractor. The drain plug. So unfortunately, I got a drain to put in here, but I got the wrong size. So we'll try again next time we change the coolant. But the reason this thing was leaking, it didn't have any thread tape, pipe dope, whatever you want to call it. Usually pipe dope's the liquid version. So we're going to put that back in and fill it up with coolant. And then finish up the oil change and probably change the oil in the air filter too. It had a little coolant leak right here, which is why I was trying to do this, but now y'all get to see how bad a moonshiner I am. Got lucky, found almost another whole gallon. We probably gonna need it. Oh no, we're sitting right at full right now. All right, and to change the oil in the air filter, there's a little spring clip flips out of the way. And then your oil bath air filter just comes off the bottom there. You dump that in with your motor oil. It's pretty clean, which we ain't running a whole bunch this year, but we'll clean that out and then put some fresh oil in it. You're supposed to fill it up to this line right here. Like, this is a very primitive oil filter, but if you see, there's all kinds of trash on it. It still works, even though it's primitive. Walmart let me down. They had been going there about every Friday, and they've always had plenty of 30-weight motor oil in the Rotella brand. And they didn't have any. So I had to get 1540, which I guess, as long as we don't have any cranking issues, it should be fine. I apologize, I missed about 15 minutes of content there. We're gonna sum it up real quick. There's your oil filter part number, 51153 from Wiggs. There's a bolt you remove right here. That's how you get to your oil filter. Your oil filter's tapered and the bolt's tapered. The big end of the oil filter goes to the top, so your bolt can go all the way through. I just learned that this morning. So now we're gonna put the drain for the oil filter back in. And that ain't got to be crazy tight, just so it don't fall off. And really, this don't need to be crazy tight either. And this thing will be a whole lot easier to fill up with oil since the cultivators ain't on it. Something else y'all missed from that video that didn't get recorded was I've had folks ask me, is it really worth changing the oil in my tractor once a year for, 8 hours worth of work? And I think yes. Because like in this case, we've got a little moisture in the oil pan, which is probably because it hadn't been run a whole lot this year. But you don't know what's in that oil pan. It's probably nasty. Wouldn't hurt. I mean, I spent $25 on the oil and filter for this tractor. Is $25 really gonna make or break you? Spend the money, especially something easy like this you can do yourself. Question is, can we do this without a funnel? Nope. I mean, I missed it the first drop. All right, we're back outside so we don't get asphyxiated. We'll let it run idle for a little bit and then we'll check the oil and the coolant. Well, we probably won't check the coolant. We'll just let it burp and then cool off and then we'll check the coolant. All right, back inside the shop. We're gonna let her cool off. We're gonna check the oil and the coolant, air up the tires, and I think we'll be done with this little project. Well, I forgot to show y'all airing up the tires, but I'm sure if y'all at this point watching Duster do 225, you can air up some tires. But I'm really proud of the progress we made on the Farmall Cub this week. And I think next week we're going to be hopping back on Pantina, our 73 GMC step side. So y'all be sure to tune in and be another video out in about a week. Thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment. I do enjoy listening to your comments. Let me know what you think about the video and what you'd like to see on this channel.